Hey guys, James here for 5 Star Rating 22. Alright, here's the second part to the Dark Eldar Harlequin painting. I know it was a little bit late, but um, you should have got the video before this, so everything should be cool. Alright, so we starting off here. As you can see, here's kind of just where we're at now. So I just did a quick glance over it to show everyone where we're at. The purples on the left part of the coat and the right boot. And then we got all the metallic parts painted as well. And then we also have the red latex or spandex painted up as well. So that's where we're at the moment. And we're gonna go ahead. This Dark Elder, or this Harlequin, will really start to come through now by the end of this video. Now I'm taking that Warlock purple from Vallejo, and I'm taking my Winsor Newton size 00 sable brush, and I'm gonna start adding the second coat of purple to the purple parts painted before, the right boot and the left part of the coat here. And what I'm doing is doing a nice thin coat, so it's about 1 part paint, 1 part thinner, and I'm leaving the recesses and the edges that are connecting parts, like where the straps and stuff are. I'm leaving those in the darker purple, as you can see there, like where the lines are. So, and I did that to the left part of the coat and the right boot again. Alright, now I'm taking intense blue, and this is actually a Vallejo model color here, not the normal game color I'm using. And I decided to do this to the other half. I decided to make it blue and make this Harlequin a little bit more colorful. It seems like that most of them out there are a little more colorful. I was originally going to leave the opposite parts of the purple and black, but I decided to do it in a purple. It'll still all be complementary because I'm using mainly purple, blue, and red, so they're all complementary to each other. So it'll look pretty cool, and it'll still be kind of poppy, and then I'll still darken everything down to make it look kind of dark eldery. So with this intense blue, I again left the recesses and the darker, or the edge parts in the black, and then just did the outer parts in this intense blue here. And again, I did the left boot and then the right part of her coat here. And I'm again using this as my sable Winsor & Newton watercolor, artistics color, I think it's called. It's a 00. Alright, and again, that was thinned out 1:1 paint to thinner again. So you can see there, again, leaving the creases in the black, just to give it some definition, then along any attaching parts. So there you go. You can start to see the color starting to show up now in the model. And next, what we're going to do here is we're actually going to do what I decided to do instead of doing diamonds. I decided to use a micron. I didn't use the 05, I ended up using the 01. And what I decided to do here was something different. Instead of the diamonds, I always see diamonds, and they're doable. They wouldn't be terrible difficult, but they take quite a long time. So I wanted to think of something that would be quicker and still pretty nice looking, so I decided to go with pinstripes. And especially being Dark Elder, I thought pinstripes would be pretty cool because I kind of associate them to like mobster type things. So I thought that'd be a cool additive for this color scheme here and for this miniature. So I did that to the purple parts of the clothing that she's wearing, and I did the pinstripes not too thin. I was gonna do them thinner, and I decided not to. I decided to use the micron, or the Sakura micron pen as well, because it's a lot quicker than painting it on. Even though if I would have painted them on, I probably could have done them thinner and a little bit more close together. But it turned out rather well, and I really like it. So now what I'm going to take here is my Bata Black Wash from Games Workshop, and I'm going to darken down and add some more definition to all the clothing parts here. I'm doing it to the blue here. Now this Bata Black that I'm using, it actually sat out for a while, and it kind of thickened up, which is alright. It actually kind of turned into almost like an ink, if anyone's used ink before, where it like semi-stains as well as darkens the recesses. So I really liked it here. I used this pot of Bata Black to help also darken up the basic shade of this, since I wanted this to be a darker shade. So I did all the clothing except for the spandex. I only did the edges on that, but I did all the purple parts of the coat, the purple boot, the blue parts of the coat, and the blue boot as well in this. And then I also did the metallic parts in this Bata Black Wash as well. So. And this will help darken everything down and get everything to a more kind of dark elder feel, while still being kind of poppy, since this is a Harlequin. Alright, so I got that all in the places there, and I let that dry for a while. Excuse me. And then after I came back here, I'm taking Denim Stone from Games Workshop's Foundation Paints line, and I'm doing the other half of the mask. I decided I'm going to do this in like a porcelain kind of masquerade type mask. So this is just going to be the starting coat here to give the next layer something to grasp onto. So again, that's thinned out 1 part paint to 1 part thinner. Now I'm taking Elfic Flesh, and I'm actually adding the second coat here, which is going to be the base coat for this kind of ceramic porcelain looking half of the mask here. So again, that's thinned out 1 to 1. Now I'm taking Warlock Purple again and black from Vallejo Game Color, and I'm mixing two parts of the Warlock Purple to 1 part black, and that's going to be the first base color onto the hair. And for the hair, I was going to do this in like checkers, do each strand individually, but I figured to save some time I would do it this way, since I kind of wanted to make this painting style so it'd be a little bit quicker, so you can still have a nice looking model but fairly quick to get on the table. So, and then I also noticed that there's some ribbon on the side of the face here, and I noticed it a while ago, and I was thinking about the way this miniature was sculpted. It's really inset, and I wasn't very happy with that part at all, but I painted it up anyways in that dark purple. So I did the hair all in that, and then what I'm taking here is Glorious Gold from Vallejo Game Color as well, and I am doing the two clips, or I can't think of the name of them right now, that are in the hair though. I did those in the gold, but I'll tone those down later. But for right now, I wanted to get those done before I start adding the next layer to the hair here. So now for the hair, what I'm doing here is I added some more Warlock Purple onto my wet palette here, and then I'm just going to dip into the dark purple that I had until I get kind of almost a mid-tone, a little bit brighter mid-tone for the first dry brush that I'm going to put into the hair here. So I'm just grabbing dots of it there, since it's still wet obviously from being on the wet palette. It's pretty easy to do. I know I'm using a lot of paint, but I tried making a little bit more visible here as well, and sometimes I get sloppy. So, but alright, so now I'm taking a dry brush and I'm dry brushing over the hair here. Now if you're a little bit sloppy like with your dry brushing and stuff, or not very certain of it, you might want to do the dry brushing before you do some of the other steps. Maybe make that the first thing you do on the miniature. Or you could even paint it in, just paint in pretty much do like highlighting. I just did dry brushing to speed it up. So then I just add a little bit more Warlock Purple to the wet palette there. And now this is for the last highlight on the hair. It's pretty much straight Warlock Purple. So, and I did this in even lighter dry brush than the second one, and just more to the raised areas as well. And it turned out pretty good. It gave it a nice kind of dark elder hairstyle look to it. So I was happy with it. Now I'm taking Mechrite Red here, and I'm going to do all the gems on the miniature. There's like 15 of them or something like that. I counted them. There's quite a few, so I did them all just to get them base coated here. I went ahead and got them all their first color on with the Mechrite Red. Again, that's thinned out 1 to 1. Paint to thinner. Alright, so those are all put on now. So next thing that I'm going to do here is start adding some of the highlights. Start making this color pop. Now this is where you can start to, if you want to speed up the process, this is where you can start to cut things out. You don't really need to do these highlights. This is more of making this miniature a little bit more high set. And what I'm mixing here is that intense blue that I used before. I'm mixing that 2 parts intense blue to 1 part electric blue. And then some thinner as well, and then I'm using my insane detail brush from Wargamers from Army Painter, and I'm adding this as a highlight to the blue parts of the clothing now as well, to the edges. I'm making it a little bit thicker because I'm actually going to add a second line highlight to this blue as well. So now, like I said before, you could skip on this part. You wouldn't really need to do this if you want to speed it up. It actually looks pretty fine right now. With some other, you could just go ahead and finish off the rest of the parts and skip some of this highlighting. But to add some more definition, and since Harlequin is an elite choice character, you're not going to have a whole bunch of them. You might as well spend a little bit of extra time and make them really pop. So, and they're really interesting models. So what I'm doing here is, just doing the raised parts and the edges and all that with these line highlights, and using the same kind of technique, the paint and rub that I use for doing like skin tones. I'm using that on some of the rounded parts, which I usually do when I'm highlighting rounded surfaces, or more like they're not so like sharp edged. They have more rounded raised edges, so I use it that way. If you're not used to doing line highlights on like rounded surfaces, you might actually just want to like dry brush this very lightly over instead of trying to do the line highlights. But if not, give it a shot. Take your time. It'll really help. I like it a lot more than dry brushing, doing it this way. But I know a lot of people have a difficulty with doing rounded surfaces. Alright, so then to make it so it was 1-to-1, I just added another drop of the electric blue from Vallejo into my already mix. So now it's pretty much 1-to-1 intense blue to electric blue, and then I added another drop of thinner to keep it 1-to-1 paint to thinner. And then I'm adding an even thinner line just to the raised parts, or the upper parts of the blue clothing now as well, just to make it pop a little bit more. And trying to do it thinner than the previous highlight I put on, so you can still see part of the old ones, or part of the old highlight that I had just put on recently. So you can see here, I'm just touching like some of the corners and edges that kind of jut out there. So all right, there you get a pretty good view of it real quick, and then you'll see it more later on. But that's it for on the blue there. That's all highlighted now, and it helps make it stand out quite a bit. So next highlight that I'm going to go ahead and do here is to the black parts of the miniature, and I'm using Vallejo's Game Color Cold Gray, and again that's mixed 1-to-1 paint to thinner. And I'm going to highlight all the parts that I decided to leave black on the miniature, like this back this back piece here. I'm sorry, I'm not used to painting Dark Eldar, and I haven't actually seen a bunch or even messed with Harlequins before, so I don't know all the lingo for this army piece. But this back kind of, I'm guessing respirator type dealio here, or ammo pack or something like that. I did that. I went ahead and did the line highlights on that with the cold gray, and then also I had some of the casing on the, I think it's called a Schreiken pistol, if I remember right. I did the line highlights on that as well, on all the parts that I was leaving black. Trying to keep it semi thin, but a little bit thicker, because I'm actually probably going to add a second highlight to the black parts as well, with like a Stonewall gray or something. So, and then on the soles of the boots, on both of them, at the very edge, I did a line with the cold gray as well to help bring those out. Alright, that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. The next video will be coming soon. Thanks for all your patience. Hope you guys are doing well. Take care, and later.